I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rukakudash.
double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and shalom to our Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and the truth. Brothers, it's a great millstone Atlanta, and this lesson gonna go into basically staying in the game. You know, stay focused, stay vigilant, stay aware, stay sober. You know, keep your eyes open, and keep your head away from distractions, man. Because America's full of them. And for each and every brother that's in the faith, there's a demon that's stronger and badder that you could be seduced by. And you got to understand your bounds, you got to understand your limits, understand what you could succumb to. So you have to stay faithful and you have to stay focused, man. When you see these professionals, these professional athletes, whether it's basketball, football, soccer, whatever sports arena they may entertain, you see that their main embodiment that they carry is focus
and dedication.
That they dedicate themselves. All right, these Michael Jordans, these even entertainers, these Michael Jacksons, you can see that even though individuals may scoff at them, may speak ill of them, they may try to keep them off of doing what they're doing. You know, because after the game and after the thing, they got the nightlife, they got drugs that's always festering around them. They got all kind of women that they can slide into. But what makes them so great and keep growing in their craft or their basically their talent? How do they cultivate their talent and continue to push forward? Is because of the level of focus they have. And we have to embody those same, it's mandatory for us to embody those same characteristics so that you don't get caught by the woman in the red dress. All right, so that you don't get caught in these other philosophies and these other ways of living and get seduced out of the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai and put to death. So we'll start with that in you got Matthew 7 and 2nd.
I got Matthew 7 and
yeah.
This is Matthew 7 and 13. And it says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Right, it says enter ye in at the straight gate, and that straight, the definition is that the perdition of difficulty. And when you look at like certain gates or certain tunnels, you know, some things you have to crawl under like an obstacle course. You know, those very, very complex, not these fucking 10-year-old obstacle courses, talking about these complex obstacle courses. They might have that big blade swinging one way or another, and you have to be on time, slide through there. You might have murky waters you got to get through, jumping over quicksand, mines, all these different things. And if you slip, and if you caught off guard, and you take things lightly, your leg could get blown off. Your head could get chopped off. That's the type of obstacle course that we're living amongst, man.
Yes, we are.
Whether people want to actually observe it or actually realize it or not, we're in the midst of the valley of the shadow of death, man. You could jump into one woman and end your life. All right, you catch a AIDS, all right, just off of trying to receive pleasure, because the so-called white man has weaponized and turned everything practically against you. You know, you go go in the wrong hood, turn the wrong street, start an argument, and a nigga blow your head off. And this happens all day, every day.
Knock on the wrong door.
Knock on the wrong door, get shot, say the wrong thing to a police officer, they're choking your ass out, and they get acquitted for it, man. So everything that you do, you have to use wisdom. You have to stay focused. And you have to be in the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai so you don't get caught, man. You know, you continue.
Come. And many there be which go into thereat.
So many be that go into the wide gate, because when you deal with that perdition of difficulty, it's very it's hard, man. A lot of people can't get through this gate, so they choose easier alternatives. It's easy to be a nigga, man. It's easy to pitch rock on the street corners. All right, it's easy to do these different things, but it's hard to be a man of the Lord. Why? Because you have to hold yourself to this discipline, and you're required to keep the laws. You're required to grow. You have to abstain from certain lusts of the flesh that the flesh wants to do. The flesh has the spirit of being a nigga on it, man. You know, in the spirit you be wanting to what? Go out, drink, party,
have sex all the time.
Have sex all the time, because we fully hormoned up, especially younger men. So all you be thinking about is goddamn sex, man. But what keeps you away from those lusts is your focus. It's keeping your head in the game and staying in the spirit of the scriptures, man. You continue.
Come. Verse 14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
That's right. And it's I think it's in that 7th chapter where it speaks about the light of the body is the eye, man. And if the eye is basically pure, then that whole head shall be full of light. And it speaks about how if that eye be darkened. And really it's not talking about these physical 2 eyes that everybody possesses. It's talking about that 3rd eye, your spiritual eye. And it's always about keeping that pineal gland purified and clean. And how do you keep it clean? Not touching pitch. It tells you in Sirach, he that toucheth pitch, which is dirt or grime, shall be defiled therewith, man. You always putting your hands in all these different philosophies and all these different worlds. You're gonna be infected by that, man. It's impossible to be amongst drug dealers and you're around all these different drugs and stuff like that, and it's not gonna affect you. That's why they say what? Secondhand. You have that term secondhand smoke. It's impossible to be around cigarette smokers and not get infected by it. Sometimes secondhand smoke is worse than firsthand smoke. So how much more when you're amongst these demons, man? When you're crowding around these seducing spirits, or you're watching all these different things that's perverse. Those perversities and that wickedness is gonna latch onto you, and you're gonna become a wicked person. All right, because it's what? It's everything is being retained in your mind, man. If I have that scripture in 2nd Ezra 7 and start at 6. There is, you can break it down.
Come.
There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water.
Yeah, that's those positioning, those straits, the positioning of difficulty to getting to the kingdom of heaven. But it's all worth it, because as the scriptures say, the afflictions of this time are incomparable to what we shall receive on the other side, man. So you can't be distracted for a temporal pleasure when you're going to receive eternity. That's why you got to, like we're going into, you got to be kingdom minded. You got to be forward thinking. And that's what this world lacks. It's not forward thinking. Anybody that falls out of the truth is not forward thinking. He's more concerned about what he left than what he's going to receive. And that's a major problem. That shows not being focused. They always show you that in these sports movies. You always got the one guy that he's always a jokester. He always wants to play around. It's always a joke. Everything's not a joke. And you people, you're going to realize there's absolutely nothing funny about being in America. People are dying left and right. This is more of a time to be focused, man. It's a war zone, man.
You got all kind of pestilences that's being pushed out by these so-called white people. All right, you got all kind of different things on the raps that the so-called white man is looking to actually utilize on different niggas and blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You've been having this immigration thing come out where a lot of those children are dying, man.
Right.
They're supposed to be being deported and taken safely from one side of the world of America to the Central America, and they're dying in those camps, man. Children.
And the ones that aren't dying, they're being stripped away from their parents.
Yeah, they probably being touched, molested. But can they report those charges? Hell no. Because we're under villains, man. Whether you believe it or not, we're living under enemies. And they'll do whatever that is in their means to punish us, to plague us, to kill us, to rid us from off the face of the earth. So your focus has to be on 100, man. It ain't time for bullshit. And in your downtime, because of course you ain't gonna be reading a book, reading the Bible like a hermit, so to speak, just at home reading all day. In your downtime, you still have to be doing things productive, man. The word productive goes into the word produce. Pro is forward, all right? And when you deal with produce, that goes into liveliness.
That's right, brother.
All right, whether you're exercising, whether you're getting into them herbs, looking into different things to cleanse yourself, because your body is always being infected by all kind of foods and things of that nature. The food that you're eating, it is jacking your body up. So you need to be detoxing, doing certain things, staying on top of your game, cleaning yourself, trying to build upwards, man. Not trying to be a part of this American establishment, trying to network with these niggas out here. Stay with your head in the game.
That's right. I got something for you more of that. This is 1 Corinthians 7 and 31. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away.
That's right.
So go ahead, bro.
No, God, you got it.
I was just gonna say, because at the end of the day, we have the eyes, like the brother said, not literally. We have literally physical eyes to see and spiritual eyes to see that this world is crumbled, man. It's nothing left here. That everything that you could think of that you want is played out to the point where it's like men don't even want to deal with women no more. That says a lot, that you live in a society where men and women don't even want to deal with each other no more. That means the fashion of this place is that whole family structure, that whole everything you could think of is dying. It's a dub, as Jake like to say in the world. It don't matter no more. So why are you holding on to something that's dying? This place is circling the drain. It needs a mercy kill.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
And that's why David referred to it as the valley of the shadow of death, because something that shadows or foreshadows it basically overcovers you. All right, and that's what this place always reflects. Like your shadow is really a form of like a reflection, basically at a lower standard, so to speak. But in this place reflects what? Death. Everything that you get into, for the most part, the byproduct of it is death, man. The food that you eat, the women you deal with, all these things are death. Because what? The policies that's being structured by the leaders through these different political realms, they all about what? Keeping you down, man, as a Negro. All right, that's why you have all these different marriages where you can marry a woman and you thinking y'all gonna live a life of blissfulness and happiness, and a couple years later she divorces you and chops your pay rate in half. All right, puts you on child support, put you on spousal support, and now you're working as a debt slave under a woman, under the government.
Damn. Under your woman and her new nigga.
And her new nigga. You see? And these things are systematically structured. They're intricately created to shoot you down. It's really a slow killing, man. It's a slow death.
That's right.
You know, the so-called white man, when he first started America, he just wanted to take you out quick. You know, clean up the land. Now the people that populate the land, he knows how to kill them slowly, man. It's way more. It's way more mental when you killing somebody slowly. All right. I'm just gonna put these. I already know the mortality rate, so I'm gonna give them mortgages at 30. Make these niggas think they gonna buy this house.
Make them go to college at 18.
Make them go to college. I'm gonna put this $100,000 debt on their head and make these niggas make $30,000 a year. You ain't never paying it. And whenever you think you're gonna pay it, I'm gonna put credit card debt. I'm gonna put all these different things.
Make you go buy a car.
Make you lease this house and lease this car or whatnot, and keep you down. And these things will keep brothers down. But you can't be depressed. You can't let these things distract you and keep you off of the track. Because what did the scriptures say? The scriptures speak about how the world pulls certain men out of the faith. And we understand that we are in the midst of hell, but at the end of the day, we have to still stay focused. That word focus goes into fuego, which means fire. Our fire still has to be lit and concentrated in the center of the nucleus of the Lord, this word. All right, now, you got anything else? If not, I'll close with this. This is 2 Ezra 8:1. And he answered me saying, the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few.
Yeah, it's clear as day. We on this strip, on a main strip. This is a main artery of Atlanta right now. You know? And how many of us out here pleading our cause to Yahweh Shemi Awashad to deliver us and to destroy this place? Might be 10 brothers on this strip, maybe another 10 on another strip around the way. Yeah. But how many hundreds of thousands are surrounding us right now? This world is for many. Like we always say, there's so many worlds within this world. That's what traps you up, because that's why on the back of the dollar bill, Esau has what? The spider web. That's what traps you up. You're trapped in the system because everything is a distraction. Everything is really, like we said, to reiterate what you said, working against you. Oh, okay, you into this? All right, I got a world for you. You into video games? I got a world for you. You into drugs? I got a world for you. You into women's empowerment? I got a world for you. You into clubbing? World for you. Eating? World for you. Working. Everything is a world.
Damn.
Meant to distract you from the fact that this place the fashions of this world is fading away. Because you'll literally get into your world and think that your world is the world.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You think that your world is it. I go to college, like we right down the street from Georgia Tech. We can't tell these Georgia Tech students that America is gonna be destroyed. They're not gonna hear us. Why? They got 40, 50, $100,000 already invested.
Hell yeah.
They see a job in the future. They see all these things but it clouds their judgment on what's really happening. But you know what? Your cloudy judgment is going to be the death of billions of people, man. So keep on keeping on, man. Think it's all about taking selfies. Keep on thinking it's about selfies and going to some place to take some fucking pictures, man. Keep thinking that that's what your life is all about, and you're gonna find yourself in a concentration camp with a big country-looking Edomite shoving rod down you.
Yeah.
That's what your world is gonna lead to you to. Your world is gonna lead to some troop with a very nasty spirit on him, shoving rod down you and your family. And I gotta put it out there because this is the realness of the place, man. This
Hey,
devil
it's
been,
going on now.
yeah,
It's
this
going on
devil
right
has
now in
been,
the Middle East.
this devil's been spiritually rotten, been raping our people. It's gonna turn physical.
It's gonna turn physical.
You got it,
And
brother.
they're doing that now over there in the Middle East. A lot of those Arab women, them jobs is being getting the shit raped out of them, man. Not to be of course vulgar, but you got to be frank, man. This is the world
It's
we live in.
reality, man.
You know, we ain't putting censors on what's going on in the world, man. It's all kind of wickedness going on in the black market, and like you said, all these different worlds. Children that's being trafficked right now from one side of the world to the next. Big shipments of drugs, people that's being doped up, overdosing. You know, that's why you got to keep focused, man. You can't let this world get the best of you. And I had that word institutionalized too, because that's the reason why a lot of Jake get distracted, is because they be in an institution so long that they no longer have fight in them. And whether it's the prison institution, whether it's the gaming world, whatever world you in, the business world, the college world, they get into it. They be in it so long that they get basically used to it. But this word institutionalism goes to establish typically a practice or activity as a convention or norm in an organization or culture. Place or keep someone in a residential institution. Right, and we're locked up in this institutionalized prison, this big, gigantic, multi-billion, trillion-dollar prison that's generating all this money off of what? Slaves and the souls of men, as it is written in Revelations 18. You know, so a lot of Jakes, they start to basically get down with the get down, man. But this is, with us, you gotta stand up, man. You gotta stand up and you gotta stay on the track. Stay on the track to the kingdom of heaven. And that's what the so-called white man is trying to keep us distracted from, with all this bread, circus, and entertainment.
That's right.
So, you know, this is just something we wanted to go into for brothers to stay focused, keep your head and locked in, stay grit
Keep your eye on the prize,
Keep
man.
your eye on the prize. You see the prize, you see the kingdom of heaven awaits you. Press for the mark, like Paul said. So we're going to end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.
Shalom.